I'm going to repeat that for a video. There's a number of fruit flies in here, and I think I got the fruit flies from when I ordered out. I ordered food service from both HelloFresh and Blue Apron, and I think that's how I got fruit flies in the apartment. There's a number of them. They seem quite sturdy, and I'm not inclined to deal with that problem right now. I'm not going to be vacuuming my apartment for a while. I've got a little pile of hair where I shed, and if I don't move it to the garbage myself, you know, the point is I can't clean up right now, honoring the leg that needs to be up. So, so I'm going to wait with the minor pestilence until I can clean up, keeping it tidy in tidy piles that are compartmentalized. You know, I can get things to the garbage somewhat with my basket and my knee rover. I'll deal with it, but I knew I was going to be getting into this with one leg up, so you know, I'm not here to complain about my apartment. I'm doing the best I can, honoring priorities. And I already foresaw that cleaning my apartment with one leg up was going to be a hindrance to my recovery. So, honoring healing first, and you know, get the fruit flies out of here and pull out the vacuum when I can stand comfortably on 2 feet with good mobility and get my apartment shipshape. Right now, I've got some fruit flies that has not been a problem for me in my apartment. I don't really like fruit flies because I did have an apartment years ago, and the damn things just multiplied. Couldn't get rid of them. So I don't want this to multiply, these fruit flies. But if I source, you know, where I think they came from, I think it's from ordering from the food service company, and I don't think that that's a bad boon. You know, certainly it's something I wanted to try in the foreseeable event that I can't get to the grocery store, you know, in what would be 8 weeks of recovery. So it's like, yeah, it gave me an option to try, which I still may continue to do. I have pre-made a big vat, a big pot of bean soup, vegetables, kale, whatnot. Then I put them in my, I have dishes that can go from oven to freezer. So I put them in a bowl, one service size, and put them in the freezer. They're stacked, so I could take that out. I've got meals. I made enough bean soup too, so I'm not hurting if I'm hungry, and I don't have to spend a whole lot of time on one leg. So it's starting to sink into me why you would dole lewd, okay? Besides the fact that Lou is my dad, Kurt, that's his second wife. Bertha Rebecca Taylor is his first wife. Both from Utah, moved to Las Vegas, gambling town in Nevada, had me. Moved to Sparks, Nevada, then Reno, Nevada, and Bertha the elephant, Bertha the performing elephant at the Golden Nugget Casino, etc. Mom didn't want to be associated with Bertha, the performing elephant, okay? So she went by her middle name, Rebecca. Anyway, my mom, Rebecca, B. Rebecca Cook, as she would sign her name in her married life. My dad's second wife, Lou, and my mom, Rebecca or Becky, were very good friends, and they lived, if not next to each other, they lived very close to each other when they both started their families. And Lou had lost her husband, I believe it was to cancer, and Dad lost his wife, my mom, and that was a slow degenerative decline that first started with arthritis at the age of 39. Rheumatoid arthritis. She worked in a hospital that fucked her. That's a different story. I've talked about it before. But she slipped on some water in the hospital hall, and that fall presaged rheumatoid arthritis. That's where it started. At least that's where it started for her, being aware of it. So rheumatoid arthritis, it takes your joints and it gnarls them, okay? At the very least, I perceive it as a very rigid manner of thinking, okay? That's how I traced it. Why did I trace it? More than that disease would be, I went into psychology because I didn't want to be like my mom. I didn't want to be like my mom, not because she had arthritis, but because she would get very angry and chase me with a belt and whip me. That it was the theater of the absurd, and I'm like, I do not understand this. And you know, I'm concerned if I get in a relationship, I'm going to flip out like you, and I don't want to pass that artificial buck, so I'm going to figure this out. And I'm not going to have a relationship till I do, because I don't want to pass that shit on. So, as a young person, when I went to college at Brigham Young University, I studied psychology. I didn't start in psychology. I didn't choose my major until my junior year. I got a BYU recruited athletes from around the world. They've got a lot of money because the church, you pay 10% tithing. So 10% of your income growing up. They've got a lot of money, and when I went there, they had the best sports facilities and for the football team, and I got to use them as an athlete. But they recruited athletes from all over the world, and I was Mormon at the time, and they didn't recruit me. Being Mormon was a given. You'd go to the Mormon school. So I had to beat all their recruits, and the recruits were pissed at the management, the hierarchy, like, you should have it. They were telling me I should have a scholarship. I'm clearly beating the recruits. And they wanted me to, so the recruits are telling me at BYU, go somewhere else. You should have a scholarship. So Coach Patrick Shane, he would put stipulations. Do this time, qualify for nationals, then you could get on a scholarship. I qualified for nationals, then he changed the goal. Now you need to place at nationals. So I placed at nationals. Then he changed the goal. Now you get to be on a waiting list. And you have to keep placing at nationals to get a scholarship. So my junior year, I finally had a scholarship with the contingency of placing at nationals. Not just qualifying, but placing. So I'm a 4-time All-American in 3 sports. BYU does not reflect that. If you go to the website, they only list me in 3. They will not update it. I tried to contact them. And I kind of feel like, they send me their smutty magazine. It's a one-way communication, you know? So I've tried to contact them too, like, don't waste the paper in my behalf, okay? You're just using me to stump, all right? Your position that you gave even a thought to even, So 4-time All-American, 3 sports, our 4x800 meter team did break the world record. And what else? But that's a soft record. It's a soft record in the sense that it's not run at the Olympics, i.e. at the echelon of competitive value. Okay, so there's no 4x800 half mile, 800 meter team in the Olympics. So that goal has to be sought as a world record by either a high school team, a college team, or an extracurricular team. Who would go where to compete? Well, at some sporting event other than the Olympics. Okay. But what else? I was first leg. There's 4 legs. That means hand off the baton. So a 4x800 meter team, 800 meter is twice around the 400 meter track, carries the baton and hands off. I could tell you positioning. First leg, the preferable qualities are, pacing. Pacing so you don't blow up, and positioning. You need to be able to, like, MySpace. Second and third, they carry that gap to get to the 4th leg. So first leg, knows pace, sets positioning, and can do that. Second and third, carry the baton to the 4th, where the 4th leg quality is second and third are already set up to run. 4th is that you want the person with the greatest speed who can kick. If it comes right down to the nail, the final finish, they can kick. So I would say I'm very good at drilling a pace. And if I were to go into a competition with someone that I knew had a 5th gear and I only know I have 4, and they know too, okay? Because if you compete on the track, you run against people, you watch people run, you know what they have. When I was in college, I was competing almost every weekend. Trying to think, 10 months out of the year, because I ran indoor track, outdoor track, and cross country. You get to know the field, all right? And if I were running against someone that had a 5th gear, and I know I only have 4, and I know they have 5, what I would do to strategize is I would go out hard and strong, consistently from the beginning, to pull the kick out of them. I would drill to pull the kick out of them. I'm not going to set them up by running wimpily so they don't really have to work. They're using me as a draft, and then they just, here, just put it in 5th gear, haha. Like, no way, man. I'm going to make you hurt for it. But hurt is, how do I want to say? It's as existential to your setup. What I find is a couple of things. If you train consistently, it doesn't hurt to push, okay? One of the remarkable things that you may not know, if you aren't in the pack of elite runners, is they're not breathing hard, okay? They're breathing like babies. You can be on your way to a personal best, PB, and you're in a pack of people that are breathing like babies, okay? Just soft. They're on their way to a personal best, and they're breathing as if a baby were asleep. The other thing is there is a lot of energy at the front. Two things. There's a psychological break. There's a psychological break in drafting. If someone passes you fortuitously, if you got the guts, stay with them, because you're drafting and you're letting them lead you, okay? Two, what? The final sprint for the finish line. If you let them get away, it's a psychological break, and it's a lot harder to reel them in, okay? On your estate, with your will and your willpower, it's just easier to stay with them. Pros and cons. If you break someone, you're breaking their psychology, okay? And then there's energy in leading the front, okay? There's energy there. So, what else? I've gotten off track again. Oh yeah, idle-lude, okay? This is why I think we need to idle-lude. We have to. We get to. Existentially, because two, one-on-one have never been here. So that's how you fucking make your mark to smear, okay? To get someone to keep speaking on you. You two that are here. So one of the values of my positioning, because I'm the ag, I'm the Jesus Christ, I'm the speaking for what would be the married estate, marry the I, happy, okay, happy that you ate with your mate, as your mate, we're producing the value of an honest zero. Zero innocence in reflection, because I hear no objection. Okay, I'm working on my next video here is PC, it's pumpkin, but it's P parentheses C parentheses H took kin. Okay, so it's pump, chump, comp, and took in. Here, I'll show you. So, you know, you want to mark on that? You smear the mirror ear to my gestate, which is my guest state, right here. All right, the present, prescient, client, all in one, tone, throne, and hone. To necro, my own crown, as my own crone. One, roan, gutter, from the eaves to the udder, and utter butter. Because I know what direction I'm going in. It's not for competition thievent, but the process of undoing this is seeing what's been done, okay, and seeing it for donkey dung, okay, donkey, dune, and dung, all hyphenated. To reposition itself that it would have provided for the Savior, okay, so that's the contingency of the law, -t. The lot is that it's acting in your behalf as a woman for the people under God, but we can see that the lot has never honestly sought to do business with D-E-W-E, with you and your due, okay, and your dues. And it's positioned itself and everyone in the law, -t, lot, to have it think in hyphenated tin and hinge that it has screwed Jesus. It has not screwed Jesus, okay? And it would presume to me that it's not cared to, till we can finally see what tears are the honest zero and are not. The finest way that I can put this is the value of did, D-I-d, and D-0-h-an, K-N-O-T. And in that not, there's a knock. Did and did not knock. The parallax is for competition for no reason thieving is a theater of the absurd. AB is to go away and back, okay? And absurd, A-B-B-S, I-R, hyphen D, or A-B, hyphen, S-I-R, hyphen, E, hyphen, D, hyphen. The absurd sired red debt to get it, D-O-B, hyphenated in black, hyphen, thiefed, to keep playing, to keep repaying, replaying, repating, pate, and plating. The communication to answer in hyphenated black to get it passed. So I'm providing the rear ear. What would have is sheer. She are here. She's here. Okay. And so now state your objection with your own name, even. Okay. And wear your shame as your ear. It's not my shame. You are making up the fear, hyphenated. By standing doff tone, stupid, to assay as assayed, hyphenated, stupid, right into your pate and plate that you give him to speak to. To who he hath screwed and will always skew, hyphenated, all right? The heir's not here. Therefore, Tao with war is the best we can do if we would have Jesus Christ as our guest and just state to hand you dudes. Dudes and do's and duds, hyphenated. To get the ag and the judge and the agriculture across that is also hyphenated zero sought, where no one is accountable by the bigot, the by God. B-I, that's two, hyphen. Be it by God, by your ego, ought, and or be you the egg that go ought. OT over time. It's hyphenated to restore the same time, competition for no reason, thiefand. So you're providing doff, stupid, to fear, doffed, with your own execution of your own character, witness, hyphen T, to stand doffed, to get your estate to toft, to put toft, hyphenated, that he would hand doffed, to assay that war is necessary. What else? So the problem with you that are wed, hyphenated, doffed tone is you don't carry the estate. You don't carry the right to actually mate and make the estate. Estate tend grace. To give it law with weight, with the H and 8, with a W-H E-y-e, A-t, he ate the time, to replace, to rep and reap, place and lace, and the palace, the pal, P-A-L, the palace. He did not mate, and he did not make. And sorely did not engineer the way. For thus the wake, and the wave, as the have, haven, even in ink, to the assay. The ass, as spade, as laid the love, speaking to the estate, to the gestate, to the guest state, that you are the present prescient client to restore. Okay. And to fly, amor and adore. At the same time, as before, SB, stolen bases. Be the beef for reward. And F-O-R-D, ford, the shallow ford, and the ord is the ordinance, okay? It's all laid out before you if you want to. So your stare at doffed, stupid, his tin ensnared, and your nair, is basically holding you accountable to the prescient present client of talk that he had doffed, tone to toss, and also sought. So you start seeing the theater of the absurd. It's there to cast lewd, to make you stand nude and thus skewed, because you are the screw that's inevitably going to land 2 by 2. Okay? That is the value of your law-t, lot. Your lot is to service, your lot and your lost, L-A-W-S-T, is to service doff, stupid to toot toft, rich, for no reason. You flick and lick each other's hyphenated dick. Okay. I will make mention that you people that have problem with fags and gay people, you're basically setting them up to talk to 2 dudes, alright? So I would say service yourself better then, okay? Then you ask IT to ask skew with my R screwed, the wedding to dudes, alright? I look at autism, I look at variations of what you think are not accurate representation of nature, and I have to say, man, you got a bit of psychosis, okay? You got a bit of psychosis that's not fair air, and it's not fair footing to tear, even square, okay? Bring your circle with your own nair and your own snare. SN is no name money, tin, okay? It's not your right to say. You've never provided even, all right? You've only provided fifen, evain, E-A-I-N, and so you cast your name the same way that he ate, all right? he Freeman doffed. He provided the law-t, all right? To stand exponentially doff, stupid. it's easy to be stupid and always have your back, okay, in black. Because that's where you find your hat, your dough hand and your dough hat, in not knowing better to the facts. That you're not seeking it. It's not in your square. It's not in your forum or form either. To beef, fair, and tear, footing, read A-d, and know the knot as you knock. You bring TB, the trial balance, bring ring in. And then we'll show you an honest zero. You haven't lent it. To tell it to lend, asks naked in the marketplace. So what you're seeing in the marketplace, to hand doff stupid, to toot toff rich for no reason, is you're seeing the theater of the absurd, a doling lewd to get you speak tone on the nerve, the deserved, okay, and then to provide the means that it already screwed the you to dudes, so it can keep providing the screw to skew, okay, to get ass naked, saked, to do the same thing 2 by 2, okay? So there's this assumption of growing dysfunction that that EWE never existed. So dudes have their own back in black, okay? And can persist all over the place, spitting do-odd doff tone all over the hyphenated place, to get a steady taste of every woman being naked, because their pay and plate paid them to stay in place. So further, one other consideration you might want to consider is the judge of the law, -t, is actually date raping. He is setting up, he's passing on a character witness, -t, that's basically saying you can do anything you want if it's WAN-T to the thief in lot. So the judge is basically, with his own character, saying you man, you woman, can do anything you want to, which means you can make anything you want up to. Well, I didn't know better. I was not taught or sought in my own artifice to hold a gun and strangle doffed. Okay, you might want to consider that. The other thing you might want to consider is, even though when you go to court as a woman and say you've been raped or whatever, the judge is, yes, he's lending you the value of listening to you and wishing it didn't have to be that way, but he's not the value maker. He didn't send it with whey that he ate. So you're not ever lending real character witness by being the value. Your listening and your politeness, that's not your value to toke or stroke either. Because it's an artifice to pity. You in the lot, hyphenated, are setting women to be raped by anyone that wants to make anything up to. You don't actually ever get rid of the rapist. You provide him jail, and he gets to sit there and be fed, ass-welled, okay? Ass-welled stupid. To your remarkable favor and flavor, where your love is hyphenated. So the judge is date raping, date, D-8-R- the era that raped, and peddled the date to the gestate as the guest state State, yes, because you can see the judge has stability. You can see he makes money doing this, okay? Therefore, I'm going to skew because I know how my pay and plate gets fed to do the. What else? So there's that. There's the other thing about vets. Your vet and always falling back to hyphenated black, the vet that you sent hyphenated, is also another form of pity. You never lent to be smitty, smit and mitt, the I, okay? To espide, I-D-E-w-e. I do with you. So when we look at models, today's models, they're standing on a mediocrity. It's hyphenated. They're standing on an estate that stands doft tone to say that doft is necessary, and doft there pulls the way with he ate to date. Off doft's estate. Gestate and gestate will always remain doft. And so you've got a marketplace that twills with ill, the clothes that you wear, and is providing you a palace to stare, that and rise, T-heir-d. The heir-d Tao with war, okay? And if they can provide you the money to garnish yourself in finery, well, please understand what you're doing to pate and play them back to keep your estate, tat and hat, as the hatch chat at, is you're taking off your clothes. You're not taking off your clothes, you're taking off their clothes. Okay? You're just being tooled, all right? You're not honest to approve. So I saw a fluff piece. A fluffer in in the porn industry of image making sex for you to see and seek, a fluffer is a person who licks the penis, all right, and keeps it erect before it goes to show, okay? So I saw a fluff piece by Gigi Hadid about her evil eye shoes. May I suggest D is the hyphenated date, EVIL hyphen, parentheses E hyphen D hyphen. That's your devil, okay? You're still creating, you're creating in a container red, doft, just to toft, okay? It's all hyphenated. And you don't have a value to toss. And in this value, you're working the lot, but you're not, you've got a fluff piece. I read a fluff piece you made at Stuart, is it Weitzman? Okay, let me call what I read. What I like about Stuart Weitzman is you could go into his shop and it's very easy to pick up something and you can make something up a lot. And what I made is I went in there and I cut out little pieces of paper and I made the evil eye, because evil eye is all over the place, and then my dad's from Palestine. And then the article asked me, well, which ones do you think what color do you think your mom will wear? Well, my mom will wear orange because she's from Sweden. And what do you think Bella will wear? Bella comes over to my house and steals things. And what about Onward? Onward, he can wear them all. What about, what's your boyfriend's name? He would wear navy, okay? Well, you're not getting through, okay? It's a fluff piece. Because You're affording dues with dudes. Duted debt to ask you to get naked for their approval. Wow. Nice titty real estate. REEL. Okay. That's a fluff piece. It's a fluff piece to sell it to dudes. To OD, outer diameter, to OD hyphen do with you with dudes. Okay, hyphenated. To sell it to. Who would also stand dudes? So there's a problem with the lewdness then. You can see women hyphen D that men that date doff to get toffed on their own jest and guest state. It's not really innocent to date. It's not thinking in place, it's thinking in placed. And what is the other D-0-h-an saying? It's saying, you, my fine miss, are innocent. You came innocent through our estate, guest state, and gestate, okay? And that is not the case. And in that case, you will not find that, the real case, R-E-A-L, you will not find that in the law -t. You will not find that in the lot to hand doffed, to toft, thiefend, debt, to ask that you heed, and fluffer, okay, constantly. The client. That is behind Jew and dudes, all right? To always then be by it and ta in taint, paint, to deny it. But you're still providing witness -t to two dudes under the law -t to cast tit through. Dow with war, okay? As knewe, hyphenated. The mew, where eagles go to shed, and molt and change. Thief and hands. Thief and dough hands. In the process of casting lewd, L parentheses D, lewd and do, ID, do it with a feast, I'm showing boundaries, okay? No different than what the competitive marketplace thief end is doing, which is saying you can be a jackass as long as you want to, because the law -t has only provided to for you dudes to ask it to get screwed, doffed through, and dow warped. Ask you'd. Ask you'd as screwed, okay? So it's showing boundaries. It's showing that the judge is not the value maker or the deal breaker. And in fact, when someone pummels their girlfriend to death for not wanting to marry them, or someone rapes someone, or it's basically, there's no boundaries for dudes. You get that? Okay? There's not an honest dude among them. Okay? And their system is to retain the family values that they had with their nad. Okay? And which is, You, woman, were never asked honestly to get married as the value. We add AD, okay, to get it DOB, date of birth, back in black. The night, the rear ear art.